Could you just feel it right now? The anticipation for season 2.
Could feel it in my plums.
Ooh.
From St. Joseph, Missouri, here is Travis Lee Hartman.
We're getting banned on season 2 immediately. No. Okay, can we get a proper one?
Yeah, we are back. It is season 2, episode 1, technically episode 53 of what we've been doing here. But this is the second season. Weighing in with Travis Hartman, the podcast. I'm B Money, the producer. That over there is Weekend Trav. Wave to everybody at home. If you're
everybody.
If you're listening to us on the audio sources, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Alexa, iHeartRadio, we're all over the place there. You can't actually listen to us, Wave. You can only watch us on YouTube, Wave.
And we're coming off the heels of one of our episodes got 1.2 thousand views. I'm just saying we're picking up steam, people. Get on board now because straight to the top.
Yeah, you want to get in the back of this train with us because we're in the back too. I don't know who's driving it.
It's the caboose.
I don't know who the conductor is.
We're making our way forward though.
So anyways, we are back. So we've done this now for a little over a year. We took a 1-week break last week over the 4th of July weekend. It was Weekend Trav's birthday that weekend. I was off with my family on vacation. So
at Club Med.
I didn't know Club Med was still a thing.
I did not either.
And we went and...
Sounds bougie though.
No, it wasn't bougie. It was pretty much a cruise on land, if you could think of it that way. So I'll be honest with you. Accommodations, it need a little TLC, a little facelift.
It needs a little modern movement to it.
Yeah, but overall, you had outdoor pools, you had hot tubs, booze, food, all that stuff included. Kids had all the kid stuff going on. And it was all families. It wasn't like some hedonistic vacation for the spouse. It was a family vacation. Too, yeah. So anyways, we're back. And this is episode 1 of the second season, but it was number 53, as I mentioned prior. Special thanks, as always, our media partners, IF Enterprises, TH Boxing, Gulfstream Financial. Thank you so much. And Weekend Trav, we talked pre-production, and we're trying to shape and morph this thing into something that we can all get behind, not just us two, not just our friends, not just the haters, but everybody.
Our subscribers,
our
viewers.
Base. Everything. So we want to bring some more energy and more fun. We love talking boxing. We love talking sports. We love doing all this kind of stuff. But I think in our early days, our early weeks, we did a lot of just fun, goofy stuff. And it was the tongue-in-cheek stuff. We're going to get back to some of that, I think.
Oh, yes.
This season. So
we're authentic. We can't go away from that.
I mean, if there's one way to describe me other than, sorry if you could see that at home, my boxer shorts hanging out on my shorts, I'm authentic.
That's what she said.
It is. So, Weekend Trav.
Yes, sir.
We could jump into some things, but I would regret not stating that this still is the number 1 Beards, Bourbon, and Boxing podcast shot specifically in Orlando, Florida, specifically in Laureate Park, even more specifically in a boxing gym, shot on a Sunday or Monday. Today is actually Sunday. Number 1
in the world.
In the world in that demographic.
And because of that, I think that we're adding a new segment to our show.
We are.
Because I think there for a while last year, I abandoned the beard. Regrettably, I apologize. I did, but as you can tell, it's not going anywhere right now.
Here's what chaps my ass about that.
Tell me what
is
chaps
that you sacrificed the beard not even during November. You sacrificed it some other time. I went clean shaven like a baby.
Listen, it's all about mental health awareness right now, right? I think for my mental health, I just cut it because I needed a change.
Okay.
So maybe that's why I cut it. I'm not really sure.
That's November.
I can't. But see, that was a planned one.
As men, we're only allowed to have mental health expression 1 month of the year. The other 11 months of the year, we're supposed to be Fort Knox of emotions.
So
in a glass box of emotions.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. So obviously I abandoned it. I won't do it again. And because of that, we're adding a new segment. What's it called? B Money?
The Beardsman of the Week.
So we are going to pick.
I don't know if I put in music on the edit or not with that, but I'm going to find something.
I should dun dun dun.
Or
I should do that.
Yeah, something.
So if he added that, we got it.
Beardsman of the Week, Weekend Trav. This is our first time doing this, and we'll see how long we stick to it. I think it really depends on how much bourbon we drink. We'll get to that too down the episode.
Yep.
But Beardsman of the Week, first and foremost, we're coming off of Wimbledon.
Yep.
There was an athlete there participating, didn't win it.
Nope.
You know, I'm going to show off my tennis chops now because I know nothing about tennis, really.
Okay.
So our Beardsman of the Week, and you'll probably see it right around here on the video, Benoit Paire.
From France. He is originally from France. He is 32 years old. He's got, let's see, he's very good, actually. He's really good. Let me see what his career high was, B-Money. His highest ranking, 18 in the world.
Very solid.
Phenomenal.
So I want to, because I know the photo that we're showing on our video right now. And for those that are listening, I'm sorry, you're not going to get the full enjoyment of this, but Benoit.
So subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah, you should. Benoit Paire. I'm looking at the photo that we're utilizing, and Weekend Trav. We went back and forth on this because we want to make sure we're keeping up a good image here, kind of clean cut, whatever else. I like this. This is like the lumberjack material.
Yeah.
If you look at the scraggliness, he's there to hit a fuzzy ball back and forth.
Yeah, you know what? I love to see the beard in tennis. This guy.
That's my tennis noise.
Let's make tennis manly again. No offense, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding because I've been around it. Those dudes are studs. They go for 5+ hours playing a professional sport. It's pretty amazing. Like those guys are studs. Trust me.
We're not to our second new segment of the week yet. We'll get there too.
Listen though, Benoit Paire. Like if you look at this guy, so the beard that B Money is going to show is his very lumberjack look of this guy. But just Google this guy. He's got some phenomenal photos of his beard.
Yeah,
okay?
So we aspire to bring forth a good beard game here. Sometimes we do it, sometimes we fail. Mine's a little shorter right now. I trimmed it up a little bit. I think you trimmed yours up a little bit.
Actually, I need to.
So there's product involved, but this is our inaugural week of Beardsman of the Week. Benoit Paire, congratulations.
You're welcome, brother.
We're going to send you the free viewing of our podcast here.
Free view. I like it. We're handing out free viewings. If you get Beardsman of the Week, feel free to send us your favorite Beardsman of the week.
I like that. So please do. Maybe you're on Instagram following us on Wayne and with Travis Hartman, all one word. Send us something there. Even our email address. We never really spout that thing off. WayneNTH@gmail.com.
At Gmail.
So yeah, we want some feedback there too because we want to have fun with this thing. But we also need to now transition over to the real topic at hand. That's boxing.
Yes, sir.
That's most of our viewers and subscribers. They listen to us because they want to hear our opinions when it comes to what's going on in current events, boxing wise. They want to hear about your background in boxing, what's going on, that sort of thing. And then sometimes just blast us for our opinion. And I'm cool with that too, but allow us to defend ourselves as well. And
absolutely. You know what? I always always respond to comments. So you know what? I am more than welcome the trolls because I respond to them as well. So keep it coming, guys. There's nothing you're gonna tell me that I haven't heard.
Yeah, and
I've been in boxing for 30 years, amateur and pro. There's nothing I haven't heard.
And here's what I will say.
It.
Here's what I will say is because
Bring
I've noticed sometimes we get comments and then when I go back, they're gone. So I don't want anyone to think we're deleting comments. I know I don't do it.
We have never, ever deleted a comment.
So
yes, exactly right. I don't know if you even can we?
I think so, but if Google and their ultimate wisdom, as they own YouTube's, take the comment down, that's not our fault.
No. But yeah, we promise you. Even the trolls, we're actually sticking up for you guys right now because I welcome it, dude.
Yeah,
there's nothing you're going to say that's going to hurt me.
I know I've seen a few over the last couple of weeks, and then when I looked, they were gone. So anyways, let's move to boxing. Over the weekend, I think it was on DAZN, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
We had Zurdo Ramirez taking on Sullivan Barrera, light heavyweight bout. That's a 175ers, folks.
Yep.
Give us a little rundown here, Weekend Trav. Maybe for those listening, Zurdo Ramirez might not be the full-on household name, but probably somebody that we need to be paying attention to for sure. Well,
the guy's 41-0, and he's a world champion. So we definitely should be paying attention to this guy. But
it's similar to how anyway, no one really talks about them, right? They're just not the household name.
No, not really. I mean, the household names for that division that division is actually not a really popular division. Right. I mean, you had Sergey Kovalev who kind of ran that division forever, and then you had Andre Ward who beat Kovalev as well, and then kind of walked off into the sun. I wouldn't say ran off. He walked off into the sunset because he beat him. But the 175-pound division hasn't been really like a very talked about hot division. It's the light heavyweight division. But the reason why it could be really exciting is because Canelo Alvarez fought at light heavyweight when he fought Kovalov at 175. Then he went back down to super middleweight, which is 168. So he's still right there.
Yeah.
So the reason why this fight's very interesting too is because of that. You throw the name Canelo in any kind of conversation, people's ears are going to perk up because it's Canelo Alvarez. This guy's so mainstream that he did a celebrity golf tournament and he fake shadow box knocked out Stephen Curry.
I saw that.
On the tee box.
I saw that.
But that's how big of a
He
figure
tapped
this
his
guy
hat.
is. Yeah.
Yep.
And like, he's like gone.
Yeah.
But it was really funny. But back to Zurdo Ramirez. He fought Sullivan Barrera, who is a battle-tested guy. I mean, Sullivan Barrera has been in the ring with a lot of greats already, like Andre Ward, Dimitri Bivol, all of those guys. And nobody has knocked out Sullivan Barrera faster than Zurdo Ramirez. Okay? Sullivan Barrera has only been knocked out once before that, and he was knocked out in the 12th and final round against Dimitri Bivol. Otherwise, he went the distance with everybody. So the fact that Zurdo got him out in the 4th round and how he got him out of the ring was impressive.
And so that leads us to our impressive take of the week, which we are calling the money shot of the week. Okay. There's enough of that.
The money shot.
Jesus almighty. I'm regretting this already.
Listen, I got $100 bills everywhere.
All right, so money shot of the week. As long as the edit goes properly here, we're going to see right in between us, unless we chop it up a little differently. Zurdo Ramirez, 4th round with 2:04 left. Weekend Trav, kind of walk us through what we saw here. We're going to be displaying it right around here.
Zurdo, this guy, so he's a lefty. That's what makes him also very dangerous for a guy like Canelo as well. But so he's a lefty, and he threw a body shot it was a left hand. It wasn't even, I don't even think he really slipped a punch when he threw it. You watch it, it happens so fast. You're going to see it right here. It happens so fast that when he landed that body shot, most people watching, and I've referenced this in our past shows if you go back and see, I've referenced this and I say that when a body shot hits a guy and then you see a delayed reaction, that means the body shot was, even though to the fans it doesn't look like it was hard, that means the body shot was really, really good, right? So if you watch this body shot by Zurdo, he hits him with the left. There's about 1 to 2 full seconds go by.
I've seen plenty of these delayed shots. This was a little.
It was the longest for you, right?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was my longest, I would say.
That's what she said.
This is the money shot of the week, folks. What do you expect from us?
So this punch.
Yeah.
This punch
Go
was
ahead.
amazing. So it landed. So this punch actually didn't end the fight.
Correct.
But it led to the ending because about 30 to maybe less than 30, but 30 seconds later, he got up and Zurdo, knowing that he hurt the body, he stayed to the body, ended up finishing him off in the 4th round of that fight and ended it. But that body shot is what led to it. So for our new segment, that's the money shot of the week. Zurdo Ramirez on the zone.
So money shot of the week goes to Zurdo Ramirez. I don't know. We'll figure that out. It's going to get smoother, folks. This is the first week of the new season. We're trying to throw in a lot of new stuff, and we just literally figured it out in pre-production. But that's going to be it. So money shot of the week, and obviously a great matchup here, and interesting dynamic at the 175 now. Throwing in a potential Canelo, because Canelo, he's going to fight everybody. At this point, his legacy's so secure, it doesn't matter.
He doesn't dodge people.
No.
So
which is what's missing weekend, Trav. We've talked about it time and time again. We have all these superstars in these different weight classes, and it just seems like they are constantly ducking each other. The one guy, ironically enough, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, doesn't duck anybody, it seems.
You know what? I got to correct myself real fast, guys.
Okay.
I think I was wrong.
Uh-oh.
Zurdo is not a world champion at light heavyweight.
I don't think you said that.
I think I did.
I think in pre-production you did.
Well, if I did or if I didn't, I think I did because I remember saying it. But regardless, he was a world champion at 168, I believe, and he's moved up to light heavyweight now, and he's only had 3 fights there.
But he's 41-0?
Yes.
Okay.
So this fight was I think maybe like an eliminator or something like that. So technically, if I did say it, guys, he's not a world champion at light heavyweight yet.
There's only about 600 belts on each weight class, so I think he'll get one of them at some point. So that being said, we're going to stick with Boxing Week in Trev, but let's pivot a little bit. We have Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence coming up here in August 21st, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I know they just started the press tour and press conference starting this weekend, I believe, over the weekend.
Yep.
So give me a little bit of that, because I thought that seemed to be a little up in the air potentially based on what you were telling me, but maybe give the audience a little bit of background on that.
So, yeah, the Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao are fighting now, which Manny Pacquiao's a legend. Everybody knows that. Also, people think that the guy's done, and what I want to remind everybody is Manny Pacquiao's last fight, he beat an undefeated 29 or 30-year-old in Keith Thurman. He beat him fair and square for the title. And Manny Pacquiao's, 43, something like that. So, he's not past his prime, if you want to say something like that. So, the fact that but I'll back it up, because Errol Spence is legit.
Oh, 100%.
He's an animal.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's an animal. So, but this fight, I thought myself that this fight was off, because I believe it's Conor McGregor's management company filed an injunction on this fight because they thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to fight Conor McGregor. So I thought the fight was off. I actually thought, I heard rumors, like serious rumors, that the fight was off. But this weekend was the kickoff press tour for the Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao fight. So I'm guessing the fight's not off, but I would say stay tuned, because...
Well, I think one way or another, Conor doesn't really have a foot to stand on with that.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
Aye.
B-Money.
Aye.
You realize that Conor just fought on Saturday, and he lost the fight because his ankle broke.
Oh, I see. I see how you took that. I see how you took that from me. Okay.
But obviously you didn't mean that. He was just saying that he doesn't have a foot to stand on because...
It's not like you softball pitched that one to me, and then I knocked the crap out of it. So Pacquiao, Errol Spence... That fight it seems runway's there. It's going.
Bro,
but here's my problem.
It's next month.
But here's my just overall problem anyways, is that we think this with all these good fights.
Yep.
And then something happens.
It's boxing, man.
I mean, let's look at...
It's boxing.
I know, but let's look. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Postponed. Why? Big C.
You know what? We stopped that thing, too, about doing push-ups every time we talk about the Big C. You know why? Because the Big C comes up every single day of our lives. For the rest of our lives, the Big C is going to be around.
I hope you guys know your Greek alphabet, because they're doing every variant of this thing by the Greek alphabet. They're to Lambda, I think. Delta, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Lambda.
They're
Beta,
Delta.
Eta? I don't remember. I used to have to do the Greek alphabet backwards with a match to
I remember you were a frat guy. I never had to pay to have friends in college. So
I do. I have to pay to have friends now.
No, you don't. You don't pay me.
He thinks.
I
do, though, for my son's boxing lessons.
That's actually true. Okay, but that's fair service.
Ooh, so there was the dead space.
Listen, we'll talk more in depth about Pacquiao, Spence, and some predictions and all that stuff. But you know what? I want to hold off on that because, like you said, even though it seems like that fight's not in limbo, there's some behind-the-scenes jockeying going on. And what I think is happening is Conor's a smart guy. Conor's a businessman. Okay, that's why the guy was on the Forbes list of the richest athlete last year. He's a businessman. He knows the money, and he knows where to go. And he also knows that Manny Pacquiao's 5'5", turned pro at like 108 pounds. So what I'm saying is the Conor McGregor management team is the one filing the injunction because Manny Pacquiao supposedly agreed to a fight with Conor McGregor, a boxing match. So that's why they're filing an injunction, because behind closed doors, supposedly he agreed to a fight. So Conor's a businessman.
Here's what I hate, though, is that I think the best potential move for him now... Oh, okay, let me back up, because a lot of people asked us our opinion on Conor and Poirier, their fight coming up, and this and that, and this was off record. And I had the same answer for everybody. I said, listen, Dustin beat him pretty handily 6 months ago. There's no reason to think it's going to go any different this time around. And when somebody has that much money in their bank, their hunger isn't really there. And I think you can't go against another a hungrier athlete that still has a lot left in the tank with that many millions of dollars in your bank account and expect a different result. I just didn't see it. I didn't see the lead up. I felt like it was still a show. Like Conor was putting on a show, the suits and all this stuff. Is this a show? So I felt like the result was going to be the loss. I just didn't think it was going to be that way. Obviously, you never expect an ankle break. Or
It was
anything
an
like that.
injury. It was a doctor stoppage loss.
But he was gonna lose the fight. I mean,
So, I want to just comment about your money thing, and you're right. The guy literally last year, by Forbes records, I think he made $180 million, okay? So, you're right. The more money in your bank account, I mean, think about it. It's human. The softer you get. Because, but wait, I'm going to back it up, though.
Yep.
So, the more money in your bank account, the harder it is to grind it out. Because when things get tough, because I'll tell you this, as my 30-plus years in boxing, things get really tough. And I'm not, Conor's a MMA guy. I know it's a similar grind. It is. So what I'm saying is when things get really tough, in the back of your head, it does come into mind. You're like, hey, when things get really tough, like, do I need to really take more punishment because my family's taken care of, I'm taken care of, I got plenty of money. So that does come into effect. However, I will give you an example of when stuff like that still works out. The difference between good and great are the people who have the money in their bank account and still are studs.
yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to give you an example. Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the guy, but I'm telling you that he's been in gritty fights, even towards the end of his career, where he easily could have checked out, but he didn't.
So-
Shane Mosley had him almost knocked out in the second round of their fight. Floyd Mayweather had a lot of money at that time, too. He could have checked out, but he didn't.
So I think that.
So it's not impossible to still be great.
Well, I think what makes the rules a little different with the hunger and the money and all this, that whole topic, is boxing versus MMA once again. MMA fighters do not get paid. Okay, now once you start to hit a certain elite level, you do get, in comparison terms, get paid well, but it's still nowhere near
Not in comparison to boxing.
A mid-card boxer on a good card is going to get paid more than a main event UFC pay-per-view guy.
I mean, what's the
gal.
heavyweight champion of the world in UFC? I forget the guy's name. The Nigerian. He's a Nigerian, right?
Francis, I can't remember. I can't.
Yeah,
pronounce
that guy.
it. Yeah.
And like, I don't think he's even.
Dude, he
is
made
he
the-
even making $1 million? What's
No,
he making?
but he made the comment after that last circus fight with Floyd and what's his face, and basically like, dude, they're making how much and we're making what? I mean,
And then
it's-
you got Tyson Fury, who is a heavyweight champion of the world. This guy's making a boatload of money.
Yeah.
He's probably, honestly, so that Forbes list, by the way, too, is those guys have to volunteer that information. So
Yeah.
some people don't volunteer it. So it doesn't
I
necessarily
guarantee
mean.
a guy like Conor is going to volunteer the information all day
Exactly.
long.
He loves
now,
it.
he made a ton of money. I don't know if they include in that also like what he's made on the whiskey stuff. He did have that private sale of a majority.
They do include like sponsorships.
He did sell a majority of his stake in that whiskey brand. Sorry, folks, I'd actually like that piss.
We tried it on air, and it was
technically,
not good.
he doesn't own a majority of it or whatever. So he sold and made a ton of money.
Over 100 mil.
I almost said the S
Pretty
word. So it's just different, all right? So I think when you look at a Conor in there, the hunger isn't as I don't want to take away from him. Excellent fighter. Towards the latter part of his career, people say he has a lot left in the tank, blah, blah, blah. I get it. People are emotional. I don't think he has a lot left in the tank. That being said, I don't think the same drive as the guy that first broke into the scene and was living out of a car, or whatever the story was, is barely making it by. That guy was hungry. That guy was determined. That guy had a vision.
Yep.
So far he's met his vision.
Yep.
And so now the hunger changes. Now it's on the business side. He's hungry on the business side. Kudos to you. That's great. But inside the ring and the octagon, not so much. Not when you stare across the octagon with somebody else who has not made it or not gotten to that point that you are. That guy is hungry as hell, and he wants you on his resume.
I mean, we're gonna lose some subscribers for this, but I don't think Conor is losing now because he's not hungry. I think Conor's just not as great of a fighter as people thought he once was.
Oh, he's on the downside, sure.
But on his upside, he was still losing to a lot of the top guys. I mean, why did he lose in ADS?
Well, that was different weight classes and stuff. That was a catch weight. It wasn't even.
Why
for
did he
anything.
lose the Russian guy? I forgot his name.
I don't even know.
I forgot the Russian guy's name. He's really good.
But
that guy.
that was towards the latter
That
part,
guy's a
though.
stud. That was a couple years ago.
Yeah, but that was
But he also had losses before because
remember, he came back from retirement at the point. Remember, he retired and then took on Floyd Mayweather in that circus bout.
Conor retired because he was trying to get out of paying Dana White money for the Mayweather thing.
So here,
I just think that I don't know MMA,
Yeah.
but I think I watch Conor McGregor videos and stuff. The guy, I like the guy's attitude.
Sure.
Okay, I love
like
his
the cockiness.
mentality.
I like the
I
swagger.
love it. I
Sure.
do. And for the most part, he did back it up. But just like I've said on this show from day one, I think people are emotional when they think about Conor, which is why Conor is good and makes money because he tapped into the emotion of a lot of people where he's cocky, he's brash, he does what he says. But I don't even think he's the greatest MMA fighter.
No, he's not.
I don't even know if he's in the top
I don't
3
think so.
or 5 all time.
I think he would probably be top 3 hype man for himself. I don't know. I mean, would you put Floyd Mayweather on the boxing side? Would you put him top 3 of all time?
So to be fair, I hate that conversation.
Pull the dollars
yes,
out.
I will say this, and I've said it before. I think Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of his era. Okay. Now, does he stack up against the old school guys like Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, those guys, or even the Muhammad Ali's heavyweights of all time? I don't know. That's a tough one to say. I don't know, but
once again, taking
Mayweather
away,
is up there in the conversation. I cannot disagree with that.
it's hard for us to put our blinders onto the money, right? It is.
I can do it.
But so if we're trying to level the playing field a bit, you have to take the money side out and say,
which is tough with people.
On the canvas, was he top 3, one of the best pound for pound? And when I look at Conor, maybe the same argument can be made for his time.
Okay, best 3 pound for pound of all time for Mayweather? No, he's not best 3. When you say pound for pound, that's all weight
harder.
classes.
That's tougher. But even
he's not.
So in the weight class, still,
I'll tell you, in the weight class. Well, I would say you have to consider Mayweather probably a welterweight so 140, 147. He's up there.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, so
he's up there.
So anyway, I don't disagree with you on Conor. He's definitely past his prime.
I like the dude.
I like the attitude, but you know what? His vision's different now. He met his goals in MMA. Now it's moved on to business and continuing to increase his net worth for his family, and more power to him. Family dude, I love it.
Dude,
I love seeing people be successful when they're driven to it, not when they just fall in it. He worked hard to get where he's at.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And so when people hear this, I hope they know that I'm not talking smack on Conor, because I'm not. I think what the guy has earned is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He tapped into a market which, by the way, other guys are doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Paul, they're tapping into the market, maybe not because they're the best of all time. They're tapping into the emotional market, and people buy things emotionally.
So it's interesting that you said that name, because we didn't even talk about really Conor McGregor pre-production, but we've talked a majority about it so far in this episode.
I know where you're going.
His next deal, we thought might have been Manny Pacquiao. I don't think it's going to be that, because you know what's going to give him even more money? It's going to be Jake Paul.
Yep.
And listen, say what you will about whether or not it's an act, it's not real boxing, this and that. Yeah, you're right, probably. But ultimately, you're going to pay to watch it. You're going to try to watch Conor McGregor and Jake Paul box.
If Conor McGregor fights Jake Paul, I promise you right now, I will say this shamelessly, I don't care. I'll buy that fight.
Yeah,
I'm buying the fight.
You know what? Yeah.
I'll buy that fight.
And there you go. And both guys are going to make a boatload of money on it.
A boatload.
Kudos to you guys for that. And the marketing is going to be great. We're going to sit on the edge of our seats. We're going to want to hear them talking smack.
The marketing's already happened. Have you seen the $100,000 chain that Jake Paul made? If you're listening on Spotify, watching us on YouTube, he made so Jake Paul got a jeweler to make this image of Conor McGregor knocked out like this. He's holding a NyQuil bottle.
It was from his last fight against Dustin Poirier, where he got
stopped.
He got stopped. And he's on the ground looking. I was when I knew he was getting that made, I was kind of hoping it was more than what it was. Like when you look at it, it looks stupid.
Yeah, it's $100,000, but who
it's,
knows if it's $100,000 too? That's
like,
just
it's such shade thrown at the guy, and I love it because you know what? They're starting early.
Yep.
This is what it takes,
Jake
folks.
Paul's tapped in the market. Boxers.
This is what it takes.
Look what's going on right now.
When
Jake
I
Paul.
when I was a young man, when I was a kid,
You're still a freaking kid, but whatever.
I would watch pro wrestling. I think a lot of us did. There was a massive heyday
Adults,
for it.
kids, everybody did.
And
Everybody, you admit it. Don't even freaking lie to us right now because we know you watch that stuff.
And you know,
I loved it.
it was at when the writers were good.
The original Sting was my favorite.
They
by the
could
way.
start planting the seeds early, months in advance, for something to eventually transpire. It might not have been happening the next pay-per-view, maybe even the one after that. It might have been a 6-8 months
They
when
built it up.
when Sting eventually took on Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That was a buildup of like 18 months.
Years.
The
almost,
writers, they worked it out.
I mean, that's
This
people
is-
don't think that's happening in boxing.
This
It
is the kind of crap that's happening, but it's unfortunately not in the real boxing world. It's in the circus boxing world.
It is essentially yes, because I mean they're still getting there fighting, and to be fair, I mean Conor McGregor fought a real sanctioned pro fight against Mayweather. So if he fights Jake Paul, you got to consider it a real sanctioned fight. But to be fair too, Conor has skill in the
100.
boxing
Yeah, he
ring.
does.
He actually does.
Yeah.
So like that's why I think the Jake Paul fight sells, because Conor has skill.
Well, it's just
Jake Paul has some skill
well,
too.
the name recognition is going to sell alone. Ben Askren was not a name to sell pay-per-views on. It was just more of the MMA versus boxing thing, blah, blah, blah. That was the storyline. That's what the marketers pushed, and it was smart.
You know-
You don't have to push that storyline.
You know how big of a figure Conor McGregor is?
Huge.
He just lost a fight, right?
Mm-hmm. No one's talking about Dustin Poirier.
At all. That's what I'm trying to say. Did you see? So I watched the video
He's interviewed in the octagon on the floor.
on the floor, and Conor. This is why he's a different animal, and this is why people like him. I do like what he says. I do. To be fair, I do. I don't buy into all of it, but it's just entertaining, dude. And at the end of the day, all of us, what do we turn the TV on for? We want to be entertained.
Are you not entertained?
That's what we want to be.
That's what we want to be.
Conor is literally has a broken leg, laying on the floor of the octagon after being ruled TKO loss. And what does he say? He's mouthing off to his opponent. Do you know how many fans love him for
Yeah.
that? Because his fans are saying, well, if his leg wasn't broke, he'd have beat him. We don't know if that would happen. Regardless, he's convinced enough people in the world that he's right.
Well, it's just like, so you mentioned a name earlier.
He went off in a stretcher.
It's like a name you mentioned earlier, Diaz, right? Nate Diaz. He's not going to win a world title. He's past that. But people love him because they know the style they're going to get. They know like what he's going to say. They want to see that.
Personality.
It's the entertainment factor.
The
That's
personality
what it is.
sells, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the same goes across all sports, right? You aren't in there necessarily just to see the winners win. You want to see the drama. You want to see all that other stuff. It's got to be entertaining. It can't be something boring. It can't be just like curling and stuff. Curling's actually pretty fun to watch. Have you ever watched that Winter Olympics?
I have,
they
but
go-
I'm not going to like support you on this one because do not watch curling.
It's a pretty good sport.
So last year, when the pandemic hit,
Yeah.
and I was bored,
You're watching curling?
no,
Oh.
I did a video that was curling inspired.
Oh.
So I have a Roomba vacuum.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go to my TikTok, it's there. I was sweeping in front of the Roomba, so it goes faster. And like, so I do know curling.
Okay.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
But I did do a video inspired by
But
the
if
Roomba.
they got some personality into that sport, it would jump up. It would have better ratings than the NBA Finals. Do you guys know the NBA Finals are going on right now?
Oh, that's still going on?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think anyone's actually won it yet.
Actually, you know what? I actually do support the NBA Finals right now.
Well, yeah, because what's-his-face isn't in there.
What's his face?
None of them aren't
Exactly.
in there.
What's his face is not in there. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy. It's the first finals, I think, in a really long time that
It's very
what's his face
refreshing.
hasn't been in
It's
there.
very refreshing. This
Go
guy.
Suns.
Okay.
I have no attachment to either team.
Suns and Bucks, right?
But I just,
Yeah, okay.
I just feel like, I don't know why, but I kind of want the Suns to win, and I don't even know why.
I would like to see Chris Paul win.
Maybe Chris Paul seems like a good guy.
Old school, yeah.
He seems like a good guy. I don't know
Who
him.
knows?
He seems like a good guy.
Who knows? He's
He
not
could be a
calling us
jerk,
up
but who
to
knows?
drink some bourbon with us. Speaking
I
of
just-
bourbon, speaking of
let's get
bourbon,
it, yep.
this is the only way I can
Oh, I gotta get
transition
some
away.
love. I gotta get some love to this, too.
So we are drinking today Knob Creek Smoked Maple. So it's a flavored one. We usually don't do flavors, but the Knob Creek Smoked Maple, a little sticky on the bottle. I'm thinking it's from the maple.
Hey, I just opened it.
We already talked money shot of the week. We're not talking it
no
anymore.
more money
So
shots.
anyways, Knob Creek Smoked Maple Weekend Trav. We've been doing the good Lord. We've been doing the ratings 0 to 10 boxing gloves. What would you rate this? Keeping in mind it's not a pure play. It is a flavored one, and that's okay. How many boxing gloves are you giving this?
So first, I have to say that this was a birthday present to me for one of my clients.
Oh.
Hannah Barron, thank you so much for the birthday. I appreciate this.
And thank you too. It wasn't my birthday, but thank you.
But I was gonna give it an inappropriate number, so now I'm gonna have to go one step above that inappropriate number. I'm giving it a 7.0. So you know what I was gonna give it, but I can't give it that because it's not.
This is not
A girl gave it to me,
this
so I have
is
to give it
not
an
a rated
appropriate
R
one.
show.
But I have to give it an appropriate rating because the girl who gave it to me, it's
Okay.
not inappropriate. But honest to God, I was gonna go a little bit lower, but I'm gonna
Got
give it
it.
a 7.
So 7.0 of the Knob Creek
'Cause
Smoked
it's-
Maple.
it's very
Listen,
tasty.
I do like it. Usually when I have when I have smoked whiskey, or not smoked whiskey, a flavored whiskey, it's usually Saturday morning after Price Boxing. We'll get to that in a minute too. I
I'm
think
sorry.
we'll have time. So we had some on Saturday. We had, I think, a vanilla one from Jim Beam. We had some other things, but I've never had this Knob Creek Smoked Maple. I actually really like it. It tastes
bad.
very good. But you know me, I don't like flavored ones too much.
He doesn't like it sweet. He likes it sour.
Yes, I like things bitter, dark and bitter. This is dark, but it's not bitter. So I'm going to give this Weekend Trav a 6.8.
All right. See, that's still pretty high.
So then it averages to a.
Thank you, though, because I was gonna.
So you can blame the producer, blame
Thank you.
B-Money.
Thank you.
Knob Creek Smoked Maple, we're giving 6.9 boxing gloves out of 10. And thank you so much to it was a client you said?
Yes.
Client, thank you.
Hannah Barron.
Thank you, Hannah Barron, for this bottle. It is tasty, and we're going to continue to drink it. So Weekend Trav. Trying to think
tasty.
where I want to go with the rest of the episode. We could talk price boxing if we want, but I think that might. Let's talk about it.
I think we should
talk about it
because of this very reason.
Let's talk about it.
Because right now, I'm a little sore.
You're a little sore.
Yes.
Okay, so truth be told, I didn't post. I have a video. I was supposed to post of you actually hitting the heavy bag, and there's like a little glimmer of me doing it at the very end.
Yeah.
And so I'll put it up there, and so you guys can take a look.
Put it there.
I'll put it there. That's what she said. And so we went Saturday morning. There's a group of us that tend to interact at a boxing gym. It's really an MMA gym, but we do box there.
UFC gym.
UFC gym in Winter Springs. Shout out to Mike Sawyer there. And
Thanks for
Brian.
having us, hooligans.
Yep. Brian Price. We have this off-books class called Price Boxing.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a good crowd that shows up.
A great. Well,
Usually-
we were there, so it was great.
Usually like 20 people, right?
At
20
least-
plus.
at least every time.
8 in the morning on Saturday. So we drive up.
Boxing workout.
This is a good 30-minute drive for us. So, we headed up there, and it's an hour long. It's a workout, right? It's a group boxing workout. So I don't want anyone to think it's like a one-on-one mitt sessions or anything. But no, we all have heavy bags. We're all doing our thing. There's the calisthenics stuff. There's all things going on. You got gloves on.
It's
You're
very intense.
You're hitting stuff, okay? You walk away and you're tired, you're sweaty.
That's what he said.
Okay.
You're hitting stuff.
And you walk away sweaty and tired?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so what we do, though, folks, is that we do have some alcohol after at 9 o'clock in the morning. So the class is done at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. And
It's a celebration shot.
We celebrate shots,
Plural.
plural. Now, speaking of
Thanks
shots,
a lot, Brian Price.
if it's someone's birthday there,
Yep.
then we do have the gut shots.
Yep.
You do take a few shots to the gut. So.
We did that once and posted that video, and my mother called me up, and she works for a doctor. My mom's been in the medical field for literally her whole life. She scolded me very, very badly.
To be fair, okay.
She's not wrong.
To be fair, yours were not legit price boxing gut shots.
No, my birthday, no, but I did a price boxing the year
Okay.
before that.
Yes.
And they were.
So we're talking like
That's the video she
we're talking
saw.
like 3 years ago is what
That's
he's
the
talking
video
about.
she saw, though.
Okay,
It
that's
was
like
the price
3
boxing.
years, like 3 years ago.
It was
this guy.
2.
Okay.
Because last year was in here.
Last year was in here, and you had
2
the
years
pad
ago?
on or whatever
Yes,
else.
I
Well, my
did do
birthday
this
last year was no pad.
I know. I was no pad 2 years ago at Price Boxing.
Okay, so I've been going
Thanks
there
a
for a
lot.
long time. Anyways, so we partook and we had a good time as always. Our friends of ours down there, Brian Price and the like, and Angel Cortez, and
Although we miss you, Dale.
Ramos, and all those guys. Dale, we miss you. I know you're up in the Jacksonville area now.
Which reminds me, I'm going to Jacksonville this weekend. I'm going to give you a holler, Dale.
There you go.
Sorry.
And I know you're listening because you tell me you listen.
Love you, Dale.
You go out on your jogs and do whatever, and you actually listen to the audio side.
We actually have people that listen.
We
and
have
they
people
care
that
about
love us. We have people that love us, but then we also have people that don't love us because you don't actually click subscribe. You might watch our content, but you don't like it. You don't subscribe. You don't do anything.
We had 1.2 thousand views. Like, this is about last week, so it could be more.
Listen,
And you guys didn't subscribe?
subscribe. Subscribe. You know what? I'm sorry. We don't want to have that tone. We're not
Sorry,
setting
not
that
sorry.
tone. Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag. We're not setting that tone season 2. Season 2, we're bringing some whimsical stuff. We talked the money shot of the week here with Zurdo Ramirez with that body shot on
We got
Sullivan
the
Barrera.
Beardsman of the week.
Beardsman of the week with Benoit Paire.
Oh, this is going to be so fun. Season 2 is going to be the best.
We're going to have a good time, folks. I think you should join us for this journey. It is episode 1, season 2, 53 overall. Special thanks once again to our media partners, IF Enterprises, Gulfstream Financial, and TH Boxing. As
Oh.
always, thanks.
I forgot to give credit to, the money shot gun
Yep.
was a birthday present
Okay.
from professional tennis player Madison Keys. Maddie, you're awesome.
Thank
She
you.
always gets me. I'm a child. But every year I have a present, even that's in here. It's a little board where you can put it's like a lighted board where you can put up stupid, goofy sayings.
Yeah.
She got it for me.
I
That's
can't
hers.
see it.
So, Maddie, you're awesome. But that's Make It Rain. So it says Make It Rain. That's our money shot gun every week.
Every week.
And Madison Keys got that for me. But also, I want to question. I don't know who is on our $100 bills. I think we should start. You know what I think we should start doing?
That?
I know, that's what I'm trying to think about. I don't know who that is. But I think that we should start doing money shot things with real money. And the more subscribers we get, we'll give some money away.
Yeah. Are you
Dollar
sure
bills,
about that?
probably. Maybe dollar bills.
Maybe like
But
pesos?
we don't know.
Oh,
I'll give 100 pesos away. What's that, like 50 cents?
maybe.
Okay. But regardless, start freaking
Maybe-
watching our
maybe
podcast.
Maybe some Dogecoin.
Listen, which has been pretty stagnant. So has everything been.
Yeah,
Dogecoin's
we're not
like
talking
22
money.
cents.
We're not talking money.
You're a financial advisor. You
I know,
talk
but
money
I
every
talk
day.
money Monday through Friday. Come on.
Okay, all right.
All right, so we're wrapping this thing up. I always say we're going to put the bow on it. We're going to tie it up.
Wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B.
Wrap it up, B. So weekend Trav, final thoughts for us?
Final thoughts are, I guess that I'm a big boxing guy, as you guys all know, obviously. I love the sports.
Yep.
I love everything about it. So I just want to throw it out there to all of the professional boxers coming up. Take notes, guys. Conor McGregor, Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Take some notes, because I know for a fact there's a lot of guys out there that are a lot more talented than Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah.
And are making way less, right?
Yes.
We all know that, and Jake Paul knows that too, but he figured out how to tap into the emotional capacity of people. So, professional boxers out there, guys, it's no longer time to be silent, okay? It doesn't mean you have to be a jerk and do all those dumb things, but be more outspoken, be more authentic, because a lot of people, and I know this, and I'm speaking from experience, that I know a lot of people that are high up, very high up. I'm talking people that have 500,000 followers on Instagram that are afraid to post because of what people will say. Okay? That's the world we're in now. And that's why I have to talk about it. But don't be afraid of posting anything. You literally be authentic to yourself and stop caring about what the haters say, because at the end of the day, no matter what they say, they're gonna buy tickets to watch you.
Bingo. So you want to be, and so I'm gonna jump off of your final comments into mine as well. And this is not just with boxing. It's not just with fighters. It's almost with any line of business, whatever you do for a living. It's a matter of you all could be the best at your job, but it's also a matter of who you know and how you market. So when it comes to the fight game, you could be the best fighter in the ring, but if you have no personality, there's no marketing, and you don't have the connections and the contacts to continue to push you forward, you ain't going to go anywhere.
Doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, that's the world we are. It's not purely on talent. It's got to be on marketing and who you know and who you're connected with. So to your point, if you're worried about saying something that's going to rub half your people the wrong way, so what? Because they're going to still buy, even if they become haters, even if they become like, if they just don't like you anymore, they still want to watch you fall on your face. You'd rather be that person rather than the one that no one cares about.
And to give them good advice, though, don't pretend to be anybody that you're
Correct.
not.
Be authentic. Be authentic.
I think the best word is be authentic, because stop being afraid. That doesn't mean go out there and be like I said, don't be a jackass. I'm not saying do that. If that's who you are, then be that. But I'm saying be authentic. Go out there. Don't be afraid, because I know a lot of really, I'm not going to say names, because I know a lot of really close friends of mine that literally have 500,000 followers, and they will we'll be like hanging out. I'll be like, dude, you should so post that. That's a really funny video or a really cool video. I don't know if I should do that. Like, my followers won't. I'm like, what? I'm like, for me, I don't care. I post my feelings, and they're never like negative or bad.
Don't agonize.
Don't post negative stuff.
We don't agonize over our 100 followers.
I don't. And it's a lot.
It's
But, like,
different. His personal,
we'll get like 14
his
comments.
personal side has a lot.
Yeah, but like I genuinely wish people, and not just like you made the point too, like not just athletes, but just people in general, stop being afraid of being who you are. Be who you are. If the world doesn't like you, who cares? Because at the end of the day, you look in the mirror. If you don't like yourself, that's a problem. So like yourself,
and be
regardless what everybody thinks. Who cares?
Be yourself.
Dude, I have a T-shirt. It was about 10 years ago. I made a T-shirt for my boxing back home, and literally on the front of my T-shirt, it's not up there. I need to bring it back. My T-shirt, literally on the front part of it, it says "Be you."
Oh yeah, I think you said that before.
Yeah, be you. Who cares? It is be you doesn't mean be great, be whatever. If that ends up being great, cool. But be you. Like, stop being who everybody wants you to be. Be you. The most authentic people are the most successful people. They're also the most happy people.
Yeah. I have a shirt that says "Whiskey Helps." And I'm not wearing it today, but I have a shirt that says "Whiskey Helps." And
You're
if
not
anything,
wrong.
this whiskey is going to help me shut this episode down. Okay? We good?
Down to Chinatown.
That's where the big C came from, right? That there is Weekend Trav.
That there is B Money, a.k.a. B-Man.
Thanks for joining us. God bless. We'll be back next week.